If you are struggling or having a hard time to speak and understand real English, maybe you should stop studying it. Okay, that doesn't make much sense. Let me explain. If you don't know me first, let me introduce myself. My name is Teacher André Damas, and I help Brazilian students to learn English, especially adults, in a more natural way. Let's go straight to the point. There is a very famous linguist called Steven Krashen that supports the idea of acquiring a language instead of learning it. He says it's two different processes. Learning is probably what you have been doing, studying grammar, doing exercises, memorizing a list of vocabulary. Acquiring a language is completely the opposite. It's an unconscious and natural process of understanding how the language works and eventually speaking it. And according to him, we should focus on acquiring instead of learning the language. How we are able to do this? Through stories, basically. He called it comprehensible input, which is a kind of a content, story or reading that you are able to understand, if not completely, but most of it. And by this content, by this reading and listening to this content, your brain is naturally able to identify the patterns, understand the structures, the rhythm, the sounds, and at some point it will be natural for you to even speak English. I totally agree with him, and that's what I want to show you today. How does a class based on acquiring a language works? What are we going to do? I'm going to tell you a personal story in a very simple way. I just want you to pay attention to it, read the subtitles, and then we might discuss maybe just a few words in different situations so you can get more the vocabulary. Ready for class? So let's do it. Today, I will talk about the time I tried to learn surfing, like Gabriel Medina. You guys don't know, but I'm from Minas Gerais, and if you are from Brazil, you know that there is no beach in Minas Gerais, making it quite hard for us to practice. But I've always dreamed about learning surfing, right? And in 2015, basically 10 years ago, I lived in Australia for 1 year. And when I got there, when I arrived in Australia, I got very excited and happy because I knew I would have the opportunity to learn how to surf. I lived in a city called Brisbane, which is not exactly on the coast, but it's very near another very touristic city called Gold Coast. Gold Coast has many beautiful beaches. A lot of people are always surfing there. And from Brisbane, the city I lived, to Gold Coast, it was just a 40-minute train ride. So, especially in the beginning of my days in Australia, every weekend we would take the train to Gold Coast. The second weekend after I got in Australia, I went to Gold Coast. I took the train, and when I arrived there, my friends and I was there with another two friends, we decided to take a surfing lesson. The other friends were also from Minas, so they knew surfing as much as I did, which is basically nothing. So we went to the beach and we hired a surfing lesson with a teacher. And there were around maybe 10 people taking the lesson with us. To be honest, I thought it was quite easy at that time because the teacher would help you to catch the wave. He knew the exact moment I should paddle in and stand up to really surfing. And that's what we did. I think we spent there maybe 1 hour or 1 hour and a half in this class, and it was much fun. Maybe I don't remember now exactly, but I was able to really stand up and surf for a few seconds a couple of times. So my friends and I got very excited about the experience. The next weekend, we were really looking forward to go back to Gold Coast and try it again. But this time, we didn't hire a lesson. We were confident, we believed that we could on ourselves surf. And we just hired a board, right? So we hired the board for 2 or 3 hours. I don't remember exactly, but we paid maybe $30 or something. And we could stay with that board the whole day. We went straight to the sea, and we were just waiting for the first wave to come. When I saw the wave coming, I tried to put myself in the right spot, started paddling, and catch the wave. When I tried to stand up, I fell forward. You know, you have 2 positions to fall. You can fall backwards or forward, right? And I fell forward. What happened is this: the board came and suddenly hit the top of my head. In that moment, I got completely dizzy. You know, when you get dizzy, and I start feeling really, really bad. I get out of the ocean immediately because it hurt so much. It was very scary because for a few seconds everything got, just dark. And the first experience, that was super good. The second one was very traumatizing. After the board hit on the top of my head, I didn't try, not even once, to catch a wave. Since then, I haven't tried again, and I think I will not, right? So I think I was not actually ready to try surfing on my own. See, that was a story, right? I tried to tell it in a very easy way. I think it got very clear for you. To finish our class, we're going to make a few sentences with a vocabulary that maybe you learned here today, which is dizzy, remember? But before, I just want you to invite to get to know my course, my English course called From Zero to Freedom, which is basically an English online course for adults who want to learn English in a more natural way based on acquisition, right? If you want to know more about the details, just take a look at the link below. So let's go straight to the point to finish our class. Dizzy, remember dizzy? I told you that the board hit the top of my head, and after that I felt dizzy. Let's make a few other sentences with this word. I will say the sentence and you repeat, okay? I feel dizzy after spinning in circles. I feel dizzy after spinning in circles. Second sentence. She got dizzy from standing up too fast. She got dizzy from standing up too fast. And our third and last sentence with the word dizzy. He felt dizzy after running for a long time. He felt dizzy after running for a long time. Your turn. That's it. See how it's easy? Learning English through stories, and everything gets much, much clearer. Of course, it's a process, it takes time, but you will get there. I hope you liked the class. Thank you so much for staying here with me. See you next time.